We are going to start on Vancouver's west side with the detached market, and we're going to see how are these active listings increasing in comparison to the sales to the condo and the townhouse market. So we can see here as we start off with the summary, sitting at balanced market conditions at 16%, sales active ratio. Homes are selling 100% of list price, and this is going to be something that you're going to notice. The detached market is doing very, very well right now. Most active price point between 2.5 to 2.75. Obviously in Vancouver's west side, you can't get much for that. It's going to be a tear down. 100% sales ratio. Buyers best bets, homes between 5.5 million and 6 in Mackenzie Heights, Kilchina, Shaughnessy, and a minimum of 7 bedrooms. Seller best bets if you're selling homes in Dunbar, Kerrisdale, and 4-bedroom properties. As we go into the winners and losers in terms of areas, we can see that Kerrisdale sitting at 30%, and there's definitely been a come up in Kerrisdale. There's a couple nice projects and builds that are coming up and revitalizing that area, and I think that's why we're seeing very strong numbers. Property developers are buying in there to put up multiplexes here as well. Dunbar 34%, so really strong seller market conditions if you're in Kerrisdale or Dunbar. And then if we look down, if you're in Shaughnessy, 5%, Kilchina 9%, and Mackenzie Heights 8%. So those are buyer market conditions that you would want to focus in at. With the price band, we're seeing like in that 2.5 to 2.75, 113%. Obviously at these price points, very, very advantageous for people to buy in. That's a low barrier of entry on Vancouver's west side, as the average price for a home is sitting at $3.589 million. As we look at the price bands here, you're going to notice is 113% at the 2.5 to 2.75 range. That's very advantageous for someone to buy into Vancouver's west side, especially since the average price point is sitting at $3.589 million. But if you're looking in these elevated price points, you know, this 5.5 to 6 range, very soft right now, 2%, 41 active. So if you are looking in this range and you compare it with some of these lower areas such as Shaughnessy, Kilchina, Mackenzie Heights, there's going to be some good value buys in there as well. And you know, if you're looking at 2 to 4 bedroom homes, there's in seller market conditions, these are going to be small, older homes, heritage home, not heritage per se, but very old homes that are likely being torn down to get built into multiplexes or duplexes. As we see here, you know, the tail of the tape remains the same. 4 consecutive months of an increase in actives, and in terms of inventory, and this is the highest inventory we've seen on Vancouver's west side in the last 13 months. Sales dipped and pretty, you know, much flatline. So the gap here on Vancouver's west side is starting to get wider in terms of sales and actives. And you notice that, you know, we've had 3 months of flatlining in terms of property pricing here. We saw a nice jump up at December, 3.9 million average. But it's dropped down to 3.5 here. As we move to the east side now, we see a 24% sales to active ratio. So seller market conditions, homes are selling on average above the 2% list price. Most active price point 2 to 2.25 million with a 55% sales ratio. Very strong seller market conditions. That's going to be a very competitive price band. Buyers best bets are homes between 3 to 3.5 million in Collingwood, South Van, and up to 2 or minimum 7 bedrooms. And seller best bets selling homes in Hastings, Sunrise, Maine, and 3 to 4 bedroom properties. So we can see that the average price point is just under 2 million. They've had a nice come up since that December marker here. So there's almost been, you know, 4 months of consecutive price growth here. And then if we look at the price bands, you know, when you're anything in that 1 million all the way up to 2.25, you're in seller market conditions, and then there's a big drop. You know, you go from 2.25 to 2.5, you're split more than in half, where you're in, you know, teetering in seller market conditions, but then it drops down here. So between 2.5 to 2.75 and 3 to 3.5, there's some soft spots here if you're looking for homes on Vancouver's east side. So as we finish this up, I want to get back to the graph and the numbers. So we're going to be looking at the detached market over the last 3 years, and this is in terms of price points. And you can see here with these are rolling averages here. we're seeing that it's been pretty much a flat line. If we roll this back to 5 years, we can see that we're starting to come out of this low that was in 2019. It's been building up, and then dropping down in 2022, and then it's been on a steady trajectory moving upwards since April of 2023. So as you go back to the graph and look at this detached market over the course of the last 3 years, we can see that it's been pretty flat as well since 2022. There was a little bit of a peak there, a slow little wind down, and then it's flatlined here for a bit. What we've been noticing when I've been tracking some of the data, especially in Vancouver, the detached market is starting to fly. It's been, the softest over the last 6 to 8 months, but it is starting to make a comeback. But what we're seeing here across the board is just this increase in terms of actives, and what is that going to look like moving forward? Will May be another month where we're going to see an increase in active listings, and what will happen with the sales? If the Bank of Canada comes forward and says they're going to be dropping rates in June or July, is that going to make those sales numbers go up? Because at the end of the day, it's all simple economics, it's supply and demand. And if we continue to see this increase in active listings, it is going to start to put some downward pressure on pricing. But it all hangs in the balance with what is going to happen with the Bank of Canada. It has been an incredible run. The first quarter was very, very fast, very, very competitive. And we have been noticing a little bit of a pullback, especially in the condo market. And as I talked to colleagues, I had a call today with a big agent in the Fraser Valley, as I talked to other colleagues in Vancouver and my mortgage broker partners, everyone is noticing the same thing. So my pieces of advice for anyone who is looking to sell right now: yes, for the most part, if you have good product, it should move, but you need to be very precisely priced. And one thing I want to just hammer on, your assessed values have no bearing, absolutely no bearing on your home's value. They are used for one purpose only. That is for the municipalities to figure how much property tax. So for example, if you were living in, let's say, an apartment, and an apartment was from a built-in 1970s. One was in original condition, the other one, the same floor plan, the same size on the same floor, just did a $400,000 renovation. It would be impossible to know for the assessment if one has been renovated or not. So they would come out likely with the exact same assessed value, even though the apartment right beside it, which is the same floor plan, same square footage, has done a $300,000 renovation. So just keep that in mind. They just put these numbers in on land value and these other items. No one is walking into these homes to look at them. No one knows, do you have an efficient floor plan? What's your view corridor? Are you looking out to an alley? Are you looking out into someone's backyard? All these other things that are very important. Are you a south-facing unit? Is there lots of natural sunlight? Have you done a renovation? What have you done? What's your lot looking like in terms of, is it an irregular lot? Is it a normal size lot? There's all these factors that go into pricing a property, and it's a very generic pricing for assessed values. And what I'm coming up against, and I think a lot of realtors do, you get these high evaluations on these assessed values, and I understand as a seller you want to get every penny that you want, but the point of hiring a realtor is to trust them and their advice. If you don't trust them, you should not be working with them. They are trying to do their best to give you fair market value and get you as much money as you can, but oftentimes assessed values can be a very big deterrent in terms of figuring out what your actual value of your property is. So that's my little rant here when it comes to pricing. And on the flip side, if you're a buyer, and you can see through the graphs for all this advanced data, there are pockets even in stronger market conditions where you can weed out and pick on some listings that have been sitting on for a while and take advantage of that. So if you are a seller, if you are a buyer looking in and around Vancouver, you want a home evaluation, you want a strategy call, book that. It's in the description below. I'm super easy to get a hold of, and I am here to help. So my name is Kyle Mark, your Vancouver realtor, and whether you're looking to buy, sell, or relocate, or invest in my beautiful city of Vancouver, I am here to give you everything that you need. And if you want any more inspiration in terms of what your future home could look like, make sure you check out my playlist up here of my luxury Vancouver property tours. Until the next one, you take care.